early voting starts just 30 days. In 30 days, with several battleground states sending out ballots to voters as early as September 6th. The voters, they need to know what the candidates stand for right now.
And 30 days isn't much time to come up with a game plan on how you're going to convince Americans that a woman who's been the co-pilot of Biden's hot mess express and a man who is on board with, listen to this, on board with no limits on abortions, giving illegal migrants health care, tuition, and driver's licenses, on board with a ban on rifles, and making Minnesota a refuge for minors to be chemically castrated and sterilized. And they should be in charge of the nation.
Oh, no, no, no.
Okay.
And it can't be overstated. Walz is the man who stood by watching as Minneapolis burned. All the while, his wife waffled, smelled up that joyous perfume of that riot.
Let's bring in former Trump White House chief strategist and America First Policy Institute CEO Brooke Rollins, former White House deputy press secretary Hogan Gidley, and former Georgia Congressman Doug Collins. Welcome to one and all. Brooke, to you first. It looks like Harris and now Walz will say anything to avoid talking about policy, say anything to avoid talking about what their left-wing ideas have done to the American people or will do to the American people, and say anything off a script to avoid Kamala Harris actually having to talk without one.
You know, it's remarkable to hear this joyful warrior. We're going to bring hope to America. I mean, this is the team that cheered while Minnesota burned, and then our current vice president was trying to help them get out of jail in the summer of 2020. This is the team that, as you said, believes in the castration of our youngest people. This is the team, Governor Walz apparently actually put tampons in boys' bathrooms in Minnesota, and now they're trying to sell camo hats to act like they're the real America and they represent, you know, the forgotten man and woman. It's an absolute joke, and honestly, it's a travesty, and I have to believe the American people will see right through it.
You know, Hogan, it seems like, yes, they can laugh, Kamala can laugh, they can have fun, they can be joyful, but I think they're missing where the hearts of the American people are, which is not joyful. When you can barely afford to buy school supplies to send your kids back to school, when you can't afford food at the grocery store, you have a credit card you can't pay, or you can't put gas in your car, Hogan, this is not joyful. They want policies that can actually fix the state of the American economy.
No question about it. And I'll tell you what's joyful, being able to afford those gas and groceries,
yes.
Not having a southern border wide open to allow people to come into this country who have no right to be here, who murder and rape, burglarize and assault our American citizens. What's not joyful is watching the world burn with wars breaking out all over the place. Every single policy prescription that Donald Trump and the former administration put in place made our lives better. This is the most radical ticket. Kamala Harris is more radical than Joe Biden and less likable. They are embracing all of the policies that the American people don't like. If you're looking at the border, you're looking at the economy, you're looking at crime. They're on the wrong side of every single one of these issues. So it's no wonder they're not talking about them. And when Kamala Harris and Tim Walz go up there and they say, we're going to fix the economy or we're going to fix the border. Oh, but only if you'd only had a position of power for the last 4 years from which to try and fix any of this. It's all their fault. This didn't happen to them. It happened because of them, and the American people know it.
I'm just glad that Brooke brought up the whole tampons in the boys' bathroom thing, because tonight I know I was going to get a phone call from my dad asking me what tampon Tim meant. But I'm glad that she at least brought that up. But I want to get to this, and Doug, I'm going to toss it to you. Despite having no real policy agenda as of yet, Kamala Harris says she plans to make things more affordable. But how? For nearly 4 years, she sat back and watched the intentional suffering and hardship that she and Joe Biden inflicted on every working American. She watched the decimation of our middle class as the vice president. So all of this just sounds like a bunch of empty promises. Listen to this.
We fight for a future with affordable housing, affordable health care, affordable child care, paid leave. We fight for a future where we build a broad-based economy, where every American has the opportunity to own a home, to start a business, and to build wealth. We fight for a future where we bring down prices that are still too high and lower the cost of living for America's families.
Real disposable personal income has fallen more than 6% under her and Biden. Boom.
Yeah, look, it's going to take more than a baseball cap for them to actually figure out that, you can be country, that you actually relate to real people. Happy warrior? Well, maybe I missed it. Was Tim Walz sitting next to me when I flew into Iraq to do my deployment? Don't think so. Was he out there? Are they out there having Vice President Harris being part of the middle class when she comes from California and has not really been in touch with the middle class, and especially through the Biden-Harris administration over the last 3.5 years? I don't think so. Here's the problem they've got. They have a message they're trying to sell. She's really good at reading a teleprompter because off teleprompter, she goes back to who she is, and that is a big spending liberal who believes that the Washington establishment and government is best for America. They know better than us. They look down on us. And Tim Walz coming into this race, I served with Tim. We served in Congress. Let me just say, all you need to know about where Tim stands is that he and Nancy Pelosi loved him. That's all you got to understand, because he was lockstep with him the whole time. America will see through this charade, but we've got to focus on making sure they know it, not about the two of them, but about the policies of the last 3.5 years of immigration, economy, and the fact that Vice President Harris lied to the American people for a long time about Joe Biden's health until they decided to kick him out.
Brooke, it's interesting that Kamala says she wants to reduce the cost of housing, child care, paid family leave, but the best predictor of future policy or performance is past policy and performance, and she has a 3.5-year horrible record of making things more affordable for the American people.
Mm-hmm. It's really remarkable. Under President Trump, average in-pocket increase of $4,000. Think about that, $4,000. Under Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, we're down $4,200. So if the Trump trajectory had continued, if he had been in for a contiguous second term, we would have at least an average of $8,200 additional in the pockets of American families. And I know, as the mom of four, Sean, I know you've got a whole bunch of kids. Between all of us on the show, there's a lot of kids. For me as a mom, that's a couple of new amazing appliances, perhaps an additional car, perhaps sending one of my kids to a better school. I mean, that's real money that makes a real difference. So the fact that she's actually saying she's going to run and make America affordable again, I mean, Kamala, you've had 3.5 years to do that. And in fact, not only have you not made it affordable, you've made it amazingly much more expensive to live in this country.
She's reading, but does she even realize what she's saying? I'm going to give you final word, Hogan, but I love how they brought on Tim Walz thinking that he's going to shtick their lies to all of us rubes and rednecks, as if we can't tell that they're lying, as if we can't tell that they are left-wing nuts.
Yeah, well, first of all, I want to commend Fox Business. You got Dagan, myself, Doug, Brooke. That's a whole lot of country come to town. Our accents are way more authentic than anything that the left and the media putting out there about that ticket. Listen, Kamala Harris has a radical wish list. We know what it is. We know it's open borders. We know it's mutilating children and body parts. We know it's taking our guns. We know it's ruining our economy with higher taxes. If she could put out a checklist, it would be Tim Walz, who has checked every single one of those boxes because he did all of this in Minnesota, and there's a reason their crime rate has gone up 130+% while he was governor, because those policies make our lives less safe. It is more dangerous to live in this country right now. Forget the domestic policy, which is an abject failure and a disaster. It's their foreign policy too that puts all of us at risk. This is a horrible ticket. The Republicans have to do a very good job explaining this to the American people. We already feel the brunt of these bad policies. Just show them how good our policies were.
Doug, real quick, it's interesting. You can make a lot of promises, but you served in Congress. We served together. You have to put out policy on how to accomplish the promise, and those two things don't actually interconnect with this campaign. Right. No policy.
Exactly. We vote on, Rashawn, as you remember, we vote on words on paper, not ideas. And the words on paper out of the Biden administration, the Harris administration, were higher inflation, less energy deduction, and all that we have there. Vote on words on paper and let the American people see that.
Brooke, Hogan, Doug, thank you guys for being with us. We appreciate it. And Hogan, thanks for leaving me out of your Southern drawl stuff. I'm a Northerner. I appreciate it.
I know.
But not from Minnesota.
Wisconsin. All right. See
Thank
guys.
you all.